Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you are new on my channel, then welcome. I know I said in my last video that I'm kind of sick of doing too many tutorials, but we are doing a tutorial today. I got a comment on the video where I test out the O.TWO.O cosmetics. I do a full face of it, and I was asked specifically about this palette, about the blue shade in this palette, and since I hadn't tried it on my eyes and played around with it, I thought it'd be great. So yeah, I haven't done any like bluish eye looks in a while, so I figured this is perfect. So this is what I decided to do. If you are interested in creating it for yourself as well, then you are in the right place, and let's jump on to the tutorial. You already know how this thing goes. I start out barefaced. I actually do have the NYX dark circle concealer thingy applied underneath my eyes already, and now it's time to prep the eyelids as well. So I'm going to use the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion, the original one, and I am just going to lightly coat my eyelids in that. And now I think it's time to start doing this eye look. I am going to be using the O.TWO.O Darling eyeshadow palette today. If you haven't seen me use this palette, the first time I tried it was in a full face of O.TWO.O cosmetics. I will link it on the screen for you guys if you haven't seen it. I was really impressed with this palette, and it was also brought to my attention that this is a dupe for the Urban Decay Born to Run palette, which I didn't even notice when I first opened up this palette. But yeah, the color scheme is really beautiful, and actually the shades themselves, the eyeshadows, are surprisingly good quality. So we're going to be playing around with this. I was also asked to swatch the whole palette, so I will insert some swatches over here so that you can see what every single color looks like on my skin. But obviously hand swatches, arm swatches, they are not really the best in kind of depicting the actual performance of the shadows. So I'm going to be doing a look for you guys. I'm going to start off with the shade Fade, this beautiful caramel warm tone brown. I'm going to start dusting that in my crease. And these shades are fairly pigmented, so you know, once you coat your brush in the color, it shows up really well. Next, I'm taking the shade Daisy, and I'm going to put that in my crease, upper crease as well, but I'm also going to drag it in my outer V and start building up the end part of the eye look. Now that we have built up the orange shade, I'm going to start building up the brown in the outer V, just to deepen it out and create this kind of smoky cat eye effect. And I'm going to take the shade End. So I'm taking the brown shade really close to my lash line and kind of bringing it in a bit on my eyelid. And then I'm creating this V shape and starting to deepen up the outer V. I'm going back with the previous brush to blend over. And I'm not really worried about this section because I'm going to cover it up with some eyeshadow anyway. And now I'm going to apply the main shade, which is, as we already discussed, Drama. And I'm going to apply that with my finger first. Seems to me that I do need to use a brush because it's just too crumbly. And I'm taking the blue fairly high up, as you can see, because I want it to be visible. And now these two parts I want to connect with the shade Autumn. I'm going to drag the blue on a little bit further. And I'm also just taking the previous brush that we used for the matte brown. I'm kind of stamping over. And now I'm just going to gently, very gently swipe over this crease part. Okay, I'm going to finish up the other eye as well, then clean up the fallout and probably finish up the rest of my face as well, and then we will finish up this eye look. My face is all done, so now we're going to finish up the lower lash line and the lips, and the look will be done. So if you want to see what I used on my face, all the products will be listed in the description box, as is always the case. Actually, let's start with the inner corner. I want to apply the shade City in my inner corners because it looks like such a cool shade. I think I might have used it in my other video, like when I was testing this palette out the first time. Why does it look like I've applied grey in my inner corners? So I'm going to take it off. I think I'm gonna have to use some concealer. And I'm just tapping it over with the powder brush that I used to set underneath my eyes. I think that should do it, kind of. Okay, so I cleaned off the brush that I used, and I'm going to take the shade Rain. Let's try this again. Okay, so the inner corners are done, and I want to trace the shade Autumn that we used on the eyelid as well. I want to trace that all over my lower lash line. I think I'm gonna have to deepen up the outer V part just to kind of connect the top lid with the bottom lid. Otherwise there's just too big of a contrast, which just looks a bit weird. So I'm going to take the shade End again, the one that we used in our outermost corners. And I'm going to trace that on my lower lash line as well, but kind of keep it more so towards the end of the eye. I'm not going to take it too far in. Now I'm going to apply some mascara, some falsies, a lip, and I will speed you guys through that part so I wouldn't be blabbering on and on and on. Then I will show you the final finished look. So this was the tutorial. I actually really enjoyed playing around with the palette again, just because they are such easy shades to use and they do blend out really effortlessly. So yeah, if you've been looking for a more affordable alternative or dupe for the Urban Decay Born to Run palette, then I'd say this palette is really good. I'm not the biggest fan of Urban Decay eyeshadow formula, so this, in my eyes, is better. Thank you so much, and yeah, if you have any more suggestions, any kind of requests, anything like that, then feel free to leave them in the comment section. But other than that, I suppose this is it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, then please don't forget to give me a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't done that already. If you have, then I really do thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!